What is up, everybody? We are doing this episode of Hero Ranking. We are going over Phoenix's cards. I played Phoenix in 4 games against Claw, each with a different aspect, and it was rough. I beat him on protection. I don't think I could get the. I don't think I could figure out her hero pack. It just wouldn't click with me. It felt just like Miss Marvel, and it just wouldn't click. But I'm gonna do my best. Uh, Remember, these opinions are of my own, and they're all based off Facing Claw. So there's that as well. Let's just get right down into it. We're going to talk about her hero card first, her whatever it is. Here it is. Hero card is a 2 in my book. 3, 1, 2. It's decent. It's decent. It all kind of evens out, kind of. Sonic X-Men. Sonic Bond, hero resource, move 1 power counter from Phoenix Force, generate a wild resource. Now, if you run out of counters on Phoenix Force, you cannot generate a wild resource. That's kind of why I bumped her down. Otherwise, she would have been a 3, but I bumped her down to a 2 because once you're out, you're out. And I found it difficult to keep putting more counters on until probably till the protection game, till I could really like use her cards the way I wanted to. But that's why she's a 2, sadly. And then her alter ego, I actually put as a 3. I didn't mind her alter ego that much. 3 recovery, that's normal. Put your Phoenix Force upgrade and let's set up response after you make a basic recovery. Place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force. This was a way to get a counter on a Phoenix Force. That way you could use it as a resource later. Moving on to Phoenix Force itself, I'm kind of rating this by both sides of the card, which is going to be a 3 wherever it is. Here it is. Phoenix Force permanent, you gain the Restrain trait. Force response after the last power counter is removed from here. Flip this card. This first half doesn't really do much, but with the counters you can still use it as a wild resource. And then once it does get flipped over, you gain the Unleash trait. Phoenix gets -2 thwart and +2 attack. While I was facing Claw, I liked having the extra thwart because I could remove the thwart very easily. And once it got lowered, schemes and thwart kind of got out of hand, surprisingly. But +2 attack, which is really good, so it's her thwart and attack are basically swapping. Force response. After a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 or more power counters here, flip this card. So you're constantly flipping, and you kind of have to know when it should be flipped, especially with her obligation card, which brings out Dark Phoenix, and nobody likes that. That was a rough time when I did that. So that is Phoenix Force. We're going to be moving on to Cyclops next. Cyclops, I put as a 3. 3 cost ally, 2, 2, 3. Pretty standard on the board there. 3. Response after Cyclops enter play, place 2 counters on Phoenix Force. Force interrupt. When Cyclops leaves play, remove 2 power counters from Phoenix Force. Which thematically kind of makes sense. Cyclops kind of like keeps her calm, not unleash, and then when he dies, I guess she kind of loses control and loses 2 power counters. So this is another way to get power counters on your card in order to use them as resources. White Hot Room. White Hot Room I put as a 3 as well. 2 cost support, alter ego action, exhaust White Hot Room. Choose, place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force, heal 2 damage from Jean Grey. It's a mental resource. Now putting counters, like I said, is good, but also healing 2 damage from Jean Grey. So basically she becomes like a 5 recovery if you recover on the same turn. That's why it's a 3. You can either heal or put a power counter, which both options are very good. Moving on to Phoenix Suit, which is, what's it look like that? Okay. Which I put as another 3. 2 cost upgrade item. Phoenix gains the aerial trait. While you have the restrain trait, you gain steady. While you have the unleash trait, you gain retaliate 1 physical resource, which is really good for both. Steady if you're facing a villain who can stun you or confuse you. And retaliate 1 is always good, just so you hit back whenever you defend or just get hit in general. Rise from the Ashes. Rise from the Ashes. What does that even look like? That one. I put as a 3. Very strong card. 3 cost upgrade. I think I put it out there 3 out of 4 games. But but 2 of those I lost to threat, and 1 I actually think I lost to damage, but I forgot I had this out there. I think that was my leadership game. When you would be defeated, remove this card from the game, ready your identity, and restore it to its printed hit point value instead. Remove each power counter from Phoenix Force. So a very good card. You're basically rising from the ashes. You're being fully healed again and ready to go to town, especially thematically if you're on your strain side. Flip over to Unleashed like the Phoenix is bursting at you. Moving on to Telekinetic Shield. That one is a 3 as well. I got a lot of 3s. 2 cost upgrade. Attached to a friendly character. Force Interrupt. When attached character would take damage from an enemy attack, place that damage here instead. Then if there is at least 5 damage here, discard Telekinetic Shield. Strength resource. Okay. So this is very good. 2 cost upgrade too, so that's a 5 cushion, I guess you could say. Right on top of you. It's my dog barking out the window at someone who's probably just walking. Can you hear that? That's what happens when you record midday. No, she's whining about something. So when attached character would take damage, like I said, it's basically a good cushion to put on you and allows you to do stuff instead of having to flip for any reason. Moving on to, what is Mental Paralysis? Mental Paralysis. I put it as a 2. 2 cost upgrade. A hero form attached to a non-elite minion. Attached minion cannot activate Force Response after you flip to alter ego form. Discard this card, Mental Resource. Very good card. But there's a lot of elite minions nowadays, so I'm not sure. It really depends on the villain you're facing. But the minion cannot activate or do anything. Now, I had to flip down a lot, so it felt like kind of a waste to put this on it just to have to discard it if I flipped over. So that's why it's a 2 in my book. Moving on to Mind Control. Mind Control is a 3. 4 cost upgrade, that's kind of why it's a 3 and not a 4. Attach to a non-elite minion. Take control of attached minion and treat it as a controlled ally with a blank text box. Its thwart is equal to its printed scheme, and it takes 1 consequential damage after it thwarts or attacks. Mental Resource. Very good card, though. As long as if you have minions, you can take them, put them on your side, and use them for whatever reason. I think I used it on Tiger Shark. So he was swinging for 3 when I needed him to, and also blocking damage, because he was 6 hit points. So it was a very good card. Telekinetic Attack. This is a 4. 3 cost event. Hero action. Deal 7 damage to an enemy, which is still pretty good. It's not 3 for 8, but it's still 3 for 7. If you have the Unleashed trait, this attack heals 2 This attack deals 2 additional damage and gains overkill. So if you're attacking a minion, straight to the villain. Or if you're just attacking the villain, that's still 9 damage. Even regardless of overkill. Overkill, I think, is what sets it apart from the rest. And that's why it's a 4. It's also a physical resource. Moving on to Psychic Blast. Psychic Blast is also going to be a 4. I always forget what they look like. Let's put that up there. 2 cost event. Deal 4 damage to the villain. 2 for 4. Alright. Wish it was 2 for 3, but can't, whatever. It's fine. But if you're Unleashed, you can deal 4 damage to each minion engaged with you. So if you have a lot of minions out there, this can easily take care of all of them. Well, as long as their health is low. Because 4 damage to a minion is very good, I think. So as long as you're Unleashed, this card is a 4. If you're not Unleashed, then it's more like a 2, 3, I guess. Moving on to Telepathic Trickery. Telepathic Trickery is, what did I put it as? I put it as a 4. 2 cost event, thwart. Remove 4 threat from scheme, 2 for 4. I think that's pretty good. If you have the Unleashed trait, stun and confuse an enemy. Stun and confused. For 2, as long as you're Unleashed. Very good. Very good indeed. So all that combined, I think it's worth a 4. Move 4 threat for 2. It's leaning on the lower side of a 3, I think. Moving on to Phoenix Firebird. Last card, okay. This I put as a 3. 1 cost event, choose. Remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force, ready Phoenix. Place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force energy. Now this is, besides this, Cyclops and White Hot Room, right? These are the only ways you can add power counters to Phoenix Force. And I always got them at the time when I wanted to play something else, so I could never put them on there. Maybe that was my issue. I wasn't focusing on power counters as much as I should have. But that, anyways, still both good options as long as you have the power counters to removed ready. That is all the cards for Phoenix. So out of 10, she is, in my books, an 8. Can't really say that, can you? She's an 8 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what cards you think should be higher, which cards you think should be lower, and what you would rank her out of 10. And what aspect do you think she works best in? She worked best in protection for me, so maybe protection. But other than that, please like and subscribe. Socials are in the details below, and we will see you next time. Deuces.